Okay, I wanted to do a video on the Grapple bucket, and these Grapple buckets are great. You can get these online. There's many different brands you can buy. This one here is a Everything Attachments or EA Grapple bucket, and they call it the Wicked. It's like a Wicked Grapple bucket is the name. But the real bottom line on these is that these things are super useful if you've got a lot that needs to be cleared, and you've got perhaps a lot that's partially cleared and needs to be cleaned up, like from the root perspective, from brush perspectives, branches, logs, anything like that. These work great. You can use them like a bucket, and most people tend to use them that way. But you can also use them like a clamshell bucket as well. So you can tilt the bucket down. You can pick things up vertically. You can pick things up horizontally, and they are just the most useful thing. If you've got either a lot that needs to be cleared or a lot that's been partially cleared and it's got a lot of roots and brush and debris left behind, they work really well. So I'm not going to go through a demonstration on the usage of the actual hydraulics on this. I can take you through just a high level review of what I think is good about it, and perhaps maybe not so good. So the first couple things is that you can do pretty much anything you want with this that you can do with a regular bucket. You can back drag it. You can push with it like a traditional bucket, and you can actually dig into the ground with it. So the way it's designed is the bottom has these teeth and the top has some teeth, and when you go to pick up a log or set of brush, you can actually hold that top part. It will close on it. You can hold it in place as you're transporting it or you're moving your machine across the property. So again, super handy. The way it connects is it has a skid steer quick connect in the back of the attachment that it will attach to any skid steer capable machine. And then there's two hydraulic connections. There's a supply and a return. And the way it connects to the machine is through a third valve. So when you buy these, especially the EA attachment kits, you can buy the third valve kit, which comes with everything you need, including the thumb switch that is on your joystick on the loader. So what you end up with is almost like a factory installation when you buy the kit, and it looks like it came from the factory and operates that way. The thumb actually has an electronic switch in there which has voltage, which it taps into your fuse box through a simple connection. You connect it in, and then there's an electronic solenoid on the third valve that operates the open and closing of the valve. So real easy, all self-contained. You get a real almost factory installation feel when you use it, and it works really well. Like these things, they work really well. And I tell you what, if you can afford to pick one up brand new, they're in the 4,000 to 5,000 range after you get the attachment. I want to say the Grapple bucket is about 2,500 before tax. The kit for the third valve is about $1,000, 3,500. So let's say 4,000 with delivery and tax is what you're looking at to pick up something like this and put it on your machine. That does not include installation time. So if you're going to pay someone to install this, obviously it's going to cost more. But for $4,000, you're going to have something that everyone's going to want and everyone's going to need, because these things are super handy. And I would definitely recommend picking one up. You can buy them used. You could buy the attachment used, probably save some money that way. But you really want the right kit with the right switch on the handle, and I can show you that in a second. Just take you over to the machine and show you it. So this is the third valve assembly right here that has a simple connection that uses the power beyond port on your loader valve. So you're going to tap into that, and it's going to simply be in bypass mode or active mode. So when that's not being used, your power beyond is still going to power the back of the machine for like a backhoe or whatever you have on there. But when it's being used, it's going to just operate through an electric solenoid that goes either in or out, and then it controls the flow of the fluid that way. And then of course it's in bypass mode when it's not being used, so you still have the power beyond capability in the back of the machine. And the loader handle has a wire that you zip tie on, and then you simply have the joystick, which I can kind of show you what it looks like on this side. That is the joystick with the button on it. I can walk around and get a better shot. So this is what it looks like when you look at it. So you have a loader handle, and then where your thumb would be, you have that switch. And then to simply move this in or out, you're going to take your thumb when you're operating the loader, and up is open and down is closed. And you can see it looks really like you got it from the factory that way. And that's really what you do. And there's a little fuse that will go in line when you connect this into your fuse box, so you don't damage your fuse box if it does have an issue in the future. But these are really nice. The kit is $1,000 for the third valve, and you get all the wiring, and you get all the thumb assembly part, and it's really universal, so you can put it on any machine. And they also sell this plate that you can either weld on for the connection, or you can put some bolts on there and you can bolt it on. It's up to you. You don't have to put it on a plate like this. You can also just let the lines kind of hang, and you can perhaps put like a little zip tie around this that would hold it. This is a better installation with the plate because it keeps the hydraulic connections where they should be, and it keeps them off the ground, especially if it's dirty or dusty. But that's what you'll get. You'll get the quick connect hydraulics. You get the small lines that go all the way to the attachment itself. And this one is a single, they call it a single top. It has a single hydraulic cylinder that's operated to open and close the top of the actual mechanism that's going to do the grappling and keeping things in place for you. So again, really nice addition to your machine. If you think you might want one, you could probably get into one of these, fully installed. If you did it yourself, for about $4,000. That's brand new. If you wanted to go used, I'm sure you could get the Grapple for about $1,500 and buy the kit for $1,000, and then you're looking at about $2,500 for the entire thing. You can get these also in two toppers, which just means that there's two cylinders and there's two different mechanisms on top, which kind of make it a little bit wider, perhaps a little bit more capable of taking a wider load of brush. You can get these in, I think, 4 foot, maybe 5 foot and 6 foot. Don't quote me on that, but there's different widths of these Grapple buckets that you can buy, and they have different number of cylinders, or toppers they call them. And you can go from the smallest one, which is, this is probably in the category of being one of the smaller ones, but you can go about a foot wider with a double topper, and you can imagine you can pick up a pretty good size pile of brush and move it if you needed to. Okay, so hopefully this is helpful. The only negative I would say to this is the cost. It's obviously a lot of money if you don't want to spend a lot on an attachment, but I think if you have a new house or a property that needs to be cleared, it's well worth the investment, because you'll get a ton of use out of it. That's the only thing I can say. The other pro to this particular brand is that it's super lightweight. I want to say this thing weighs about 300 pounds, the attachment itself. So if you consider your loader capabilities of, let's say, 2,000 pounds on this machine, this will only take away 300 pounds. So you still can lift, a 1,700 pound log, probably more, because these are rated to full height at 2,000 pounds, in that range. So you could lift a pretty good sized log a couple feet off the ground, and then you could grapple it and carry it, right? And you're not gonna lose a lot of weight on this particular brand, because they're super lightweight and they're super strong. So when you do your research, keep that in mind. You can spend a little less, I'm sure, and get a different brand, or you could spend a little more and perhaps get this brand. I don't want to try to sell you on one brand or another, because I haven't really reviewed any other brands besides this one, but you can do your own research, and you can decide. If you land on this brand here, I can tell you you'll be really happy. It's a quality, made in the USA type company, I believe, and it's also got high quality steel, and it's lightweight steel, so you're not gonna carry too much extra weight with the attachment itself. Okay, and hopefully this is helpful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out on my channel.